Hey, today was kind of a crappy day. Nothing bad happened today that should like make it a not good day, but it was just kind of mentally not fantastic. I mean, that makes sense. You can't have amazing days every day. That'd be awesome if I could. I feel like I do a good job at kind of like repressing those, not like repressing, like not like in a bad way, like bottling emotions up or anything. But I think I've just kind of realized that like a lot of your day is kind of like up to your interpretation, if you will. So I feel like, sometimes you can get a crappy day and you make the most of it and just like not really let it get to you. But today, sometimes, it doesn't always work. Sometimes you just fucking rot. I didn't rot today. I played guitar for like a good amount of time, which that's like a good thing for me. It's a good day when I can play a lot of guitar. Did some reading, um, talked to some friends. That's always good. But it was just like an off day for some reason. I feel like sometimes I become like hyper aware that I'm not living my like best life. And I don't think anyone is living their best life. Like no shit. Like obviously, in an ideal world, I don't know, like have a car, have a job right now, I guess like ideal, I wouldn't have a job. Ideal, technically, I would have like a million billion dollars and would never need a job. I mean, like realistic ideal, I'd be working right now. I'd be able to see my friends like in person. I wouldn't be like living on like a farm in the middle of nowhere. I probably wouldn't be. I mean, no, like again, like foster care. Like ideally, obviously, I'd rather not be in the foster care system, but like given my current like options, foster care is like the best thing I have. Like there's no alternative unless I want to like be living homeless. So like it's the best alternative I have right now. But if this was like an ideal world, then I wouldn't be in foster care. I don't know what I would be if I was like living with friends or something. I think that's like what a lot of teenagers would say anyway. But I'm also realizing that it's not fucking helpful to like think about ideal. I mean, like no, it is like in a way. Like it's good to have goals and dreams. Like if no one ever had like ideals, then we wouldn't have any goals or dreams, and then like it would be like, what are you living for? Like I feel like if I was perfectly content with my life right now, it'd be like, what am I aiming for? Like I guess just like equilibrium. What is that? Just like stability, like to keep this if that was what I wanted. But I always think that's like not to be like judgmental. Like maybe I'll get it when I'm older. Maybe I'm like too young to get it or whatever. I don't know. But I feel like I live kind of like in a small town right now. I grew up in like a small town, and like there's just like small town people, like those people who get married at a young age, settle down at a young age, are perfectly content allegedly living in that small town, never like leaving the state, never like going more than like a couple hours in any direction, living like a Groundhog's Day kind of life, like take care of kids, take care of the grandkids, go to the grocery store, talk about the weather, crochet. Like there's nothing wrong with any of those things. If that's like your goal life, then like go you. But I think just for me, like I don't understand how. Again, like nothing against. If that's what makes you happy, then I don't know if like that's if any of those people would watch this, but like I don't judge that. But just like me personally, I don't understand how you can just be like like how that could be your like I'm not saying it's like a judging way, but like, I can't understand how that could be your life and you'd be like content. Like that would be your life and you wouldn't be like in the back of your mind like I want to fucking get out of this town that I've lived in for 60 years. Like how are you not like dying? Like how are you not like screaming like I need change. I need to travel the world. I need to meet new people. I need to like I just could never live. Maybe I can. Like maybe I'm just young and like maybe in like 20 years I'm going to be like, "Oh yeah, no, I understand it." But like as of right now, I can never imagine myself like settling into a small town, and just like being content, like never leaving that area. Like that's frightening. Or like having the same job or career. Again, like there's some good things, like about stability. Like there's some things that are good to not change. Like if you find the love of your life when you're like 18 years old and you get married, then that's a good thing, obviously. But that's like I feel like I've never had like a serious relationship. That's not really something I think about a lot. Honestly, I think I do want to have relationships. It's just like I've never really met someone. I've never been like romantically in love. I'm sure that'll be a whole new chapter whenever I experience that. I've definitely like been in love like to like people, but not like in a romantic way. And I know that like love fucking sucks. Obviously, I feel like everyone has some experience with love again, even if it's not like romantic. Like I've definitely been heartbroken over people in a non-romantic way, but I've never like been romantically attached to someone, which is probably like, a good thing. I feel like maybe that'd be inspiration for my guitar, for my music. Maybe once I finally fall romantically in love with someone, I can make my first album. That's kind of like what a lot of musicians. I feel like 90% of like songs you hear are like about love, like romantic love in some way or another. Like almost every song on the radio is like something about romantic love, which I think maybe it's an interesting perspective. I like hearing songs that aren't just about love because it gets a little repetitive. But also, maybe go through once I experience it, then those songs will be more relatable. I mean, like I can understand the concept. Like I've seen enough movies. I've seen it from an outward perspective enough. But where was I going with this? I was saying how I've never been like romantically in love, but I think it's if you find your soulmate, you believe so when you're like 18 years old and you get married and you're married forever, then that's a good thing. But also, I feel like once I do, I feel like I've never like been in love, so I can't really say how it would work. Like maybe I'll meet someone, I'll fall in love, and I'll be like, I want to live with this person forever. I want to get married. Like as of right now, like without experiencing that, like I don't want to. Like I wouldn't want to get married at a young age, even if I like found the love of my life allegedly. Like I would definitely want to wait. Also, because like weddings don't have to be expensive. Like you can very well get married without like having any big thing. But like I've seen so many people like get married and like they put like so much money into it and they get divorced and it's like then they get married again. That's a trope. I've just met people. I don't even know if I would have a big wedding again. Like I don't even think I've been like romantically in love. So my wedding isn't something I think about a lot. I don't even think weddings are necessary. I think you can very well still be 100% devoted to a person without being like married. Don't you think like I know there's like benefits. Do you get benefits if you're married? Like from like a legal finance perspective? Like I know like when you like sign paperwork or whatever, you like mark if you're married or single or whatever. Like I know they ask that. Like, does anything change? Does anyone know? I mean, I could Google that, but like, do you get less tax? I don't know. I know it's like a thing. Like, something changes with your finances when you're married. But another thing I was just thinking about is like I don't have like I feel so fucking lazy like with my life. Like I think like I do my best to stay productive, but like also like my life's just not interesting. I mean, my life's probably more interesting than like some people out there. My life's 100% more interesting than when I was in the hospital. I think it's like a concept. My life's interesting. Like, ooh, girl goes to live with foster family on a farm. Ooh, isn't that interesting? Like, new home, new people, new experience, new location. Like, as a concept, that sounds interesting. But like, it gets old very fast. I've already, maybe it's like a bad thing about being used to change. That like it gets uninteresting very fastly. That's like terrible. Gets uninteresting very fastly. I just, I get used to things too fast, which, like, again, like sounds good, but also it means I, sabotage myself to get change. I mean, I'm not gonna sabotage myself. I'm not gonna do anything rash or irresponsible just so I can, get some excitement in my life. I've done that too many times, but it's like, I'm already like, I don't want to say I'm sick of this. I'm like, I'm happy to be here. I'm just saying it's not like interesting anymore. I've already, gotten used to this. You know, like there's no changes coming. I guess I start college in the fall, but I'm sure I'm gonna get used to that very fast. Although I think that'll be better because at least I'm like around more people. Like living here on this little farm, it's like the same cast of people every single day, with like an occasional guest appearance from like the relatives, like like 5 other people. But besides that, like those are the only people I've seen like this whole time. Like, but once I'm in school, there'll be a lot more people, a lot more interactions. It won't just be like adults and young kids. It'll be like people around my age. Not that I don't like adults, but just it's always good. But also like I feel like college is so what's the word like expected. Not of like everyone, but I feel like for me or just like for people I know, it's very like expected that like oh you go to college for at least 4 years and you get a career. It's like something I've talked about like extensively in a lot of like my previous rants when I was like figuring out. One thing I do like about like recording these is I can like kind of like see like I've only recorded these for like maybe like 6 months, but like I've already changed a lot in these like 6 months. My hair, I still haven't got my fucking hair dyed. I feel like in like one of the first one of these, I was like, I need to like re-dye my hair. Still haven't done that. Like my hair it doesn't look bad right now because like I'm in the dark, but I used to have blonde highlights. Like I mean, I do like technically have blonde highlights still, but they're so grown out. Like my hair is like a braid right now, so you can't even see. But it's like really bad. Like I just need to at least bare minimum dye my hair black to cover it. Ideally, I'd want to like do my whole head again with something maybe like bleach, but like at least just dye my hair black so I don't have these like grown out chunky ass highlights. Like I like chunky highlights, like that's what I got. But it looks good when they were like fresh. But it's been almost a year. Like literally, it was August last year. That's fucking crazy. This time last year, I was living with a different family, um, getting like high all the time. I was very lonely. I had my first job, like my first like official like not under the table job. I was very lonely. My only like interactions with people my age was like at work, because there was a lot of other cashiers in high school. Um, but because I didn't go to school in that town, because I had just moved there, so like I didn't know anyone locally. I had this like little like story time. Like there was this guy, and he like asked me for my. This is like so funny. He asked me for my Snapchat, but it was funny because like my coworker was like, "Oh my god, that guy's like this sounds so like cringy. I don't know," but she was saying to me like, "Oh my god, like isn't he like the cutest person here? Like he's like the captain of the football team or something." And then like she was like, like she was clearly interested in him. And then he asks her to ask me for my number, which like I felt awful. I'm like, oh my god, she was just talking to me about this guy that she likes. And then he asks her to ask me for my number to give to him. And I give him the number. And then like we meet up a couple of days later. We like meet because we're fucking like, kids. We don't have like cars. He like apparently like has his license, but like he didn't have a car. But we like meet halfway, and then we like walk down to the lake, and like he brings weed, we smoke, we like made out on the beach. The beach is a generous, like it wasn't a beach, it was like a fucking shore. It was like seashells, like there was no sand, it was just like sharp shards. And then he like went to the same grocery store that we like work at, and then he like bought me like a Red Bull. But I was like upset because I wasn't like actually upset. I didn't say I was upset, but like I asked him to give me a Monster, like one of the Monster Zeros, and then he got me like a Red Bull. It's like, give me Monster. I know they have Monsters there. I literally work there. But anyway, and then it was like kind of obvious he wanted to like do more than make out. But I was being fucking oblivious, and I was just like fucking like high too. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home now, because like he was like not like TMI, but like our lips were our mouths were very dry because like dry mouth. And he was like, oh, I'll drink the lake water. So it was like, no, he was like, I'm sorry, I'm such a bad kisser. Like, I'll drink the lake water. So like, I was like, you're not fucking drinking the lake water. Like, it's a very polluted lake. Like you're not supposed to swim in it. Like, that's how bad it is. It's like a very polluted lake. And like, you were not gonna drink the lake water and then kiss me. Like, no, it's gross. That's why he went to the grocery store to get drinks. Like, I guess so we could like kiss. I don't know. It's funny looking back on it. Um, so he got me the drink, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go home now, even though that was like clearly like, oh, he got the drink so we could go back to the beach. But I mean, and then I ended up moving. I never saw him again. Oh wow, it was a nice little story, nice little like one time thing, with the alleged captain of the football team or whatever. I don't even know if he's the captain. I don't know. That's just what I heard. But I was talking about. I don't even know how I got there from talking about college. But I think it's so expected for like people to go to college. And I was applying to four-year colleges, and because I'm in foster care, I can't like move out of a foster home because I'm under 18. Like I have to live at home, so that means like the only college I can go to is my local community college, because I can't like commute 40 minutes every day to like any other college, or I can't, like I got accepted to a college in like Arizona and Texas. I applied a lot of places, but I can't go there because I have to live at one of the foster homes. So that's why I'm going to community college. I mean, it's like a good decision too, like financially. Like I don't regret it. It just like it wasn't what I had planned. But now that I'm starting community college, I'm like, I mean, again, I haven't even started college yet, so I shouldn't, like I still have plenty of time to like change my mind or make a decision. Not even change my mind because I haven't made a decision yet. But it's like I want to move. I'll be graduating community college right before I turn 18, and then when I turn 18, I can be foster care. And I feel like it's like expected. I was just saying it's expected for people to go to college. At least I feel like I'm expected to go to college. Like just like assumed that I'm going to go to like a 4-year college after community college. But like, what if I just get my associates? Like, is that stupid? I feel like there's people say like you need to have a college degree to get a job. Like it's just like expected now. Like I feel like years and years ago it was just like it was not everyone had a college degree. That was obviously like good if you had one, but nowadays it's kind of like expected for like a lot of like career jobs that you at least have your bachelor's degree. Sometimes you need even more than that just to get like an internship. It's crazy. I like looking on Indeed sometimes, just like look at jobs and like see what they require, and like literally every job. Like no one cares about an associate's degree, which is what I'm getting at. Community college. Like I don't think I've seen any job listings that say like associates required. Like no, it's always bachelor. But like what if I just, because once I like leave foster care, then it won't be paid for anymore. Like I'm getting community college like 100% paid for because I'm in foster care. But then if I go to 4-year college after that, it would be like on my budget. It's like I don't want to spend so much money on college. I know like getting a college degree can help you get a job and you make the money back, so it like works around. But it's like I'm again like a lock and change. I still have 2 years left. I haven't even started college yet, so again like there's still so much time, but like ideally, as of right now, I want to have a career or a job related in music or writing and or those are kind of like put together. And I feel like ideally, again, like obviously I was just talking about how ideals they don't accomplish anything really. I mean, it's good to have like goals, but you know I have to actually put the effort in. But ideally, I guess if I had to choose right now, again, a lot can change in 2 years, but I would want to graduate with my writing slash music minor degree and be able to move out with a car. I don't even like imagine having an apartment, but just like living in a car and have some sort of like online writing job where I can do some sort of journalism thing, and then meanwhile also pursue music. Just like I don't even know what that looks like right now, but doing more than I am now. I have been writing songs actually. I feel like I sound like stupid. I don't know. I feel like I sound stupid saying that. Like I haven't like posted any songs, so I feel like I'm just like talking to the void here. But I have been like working on writing music. I don't know. It's what I like doing. Like I know it's not like a good career choice. Like I feel like if I were to tell some like grandma, like I feel like a grandma would be like, oh, you need like a real. I don't know. I said grandma, but like music's not like a real job. You're not gonna make money off that. I might become like a fucking broke, starving artist. But it's like it's what I'm interested in, and I don't want to be. I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I know it's like what every like teenager whatever says, and then they end up working like a 9 to 5 and having like an ordinary life, and then give up on their dreams. But like I don't want that. Like I feel like I'd honestly rather, you know, be an unsuccessful musician, artist, writer, aspiring and like keep my goals, than just kind of like give in to some life that I don't want. Give into the small town 9 to 5. I keep like just again like nothing against 9 to 5, nothing against small towns. Just like that's not what I want. And we don't always get what we want, but I want to be trying. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I just gave up. Like again, I'm so fucking young still. Like my dreams and my aspirations may very well change. It might not be that I give up. I might just find a new dream, a new goal, meet new people, discover new things that I like. People change their lives all the time, but I'm just saying, like if I do change my goals or my dreams or whatever, I don't want it to be because I've given up or because it was not working out. I want to because I actually find something I enjoy more. But as of right now, I love music. Like it's just such a big part of my like identity, and I don't care if it's like fucking. I can't think of like a algorithm, I can't think of an analogy. I don't care if I'm like one fish in the ocean. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if it's a hard way to make money. Money's not everything. Obviously, money gets you a lot. I say money's not everything. Obviously, but I would love $1 million. I would love to go on a clothing haul spree. I'd love to, travel the world. You need money to travel the world. You can do it cheaper. Like there's cheaper ways to travel the world, but either way, you still need money. It's how our world works. But I'd rather have a minimum budget doing what I actually love than be like a millionaire. I mean, maybe even like a millionaire, but because then I could just like quit the job and retire, then pursue my dreams. But I'd rather be living on like minimum budget. Doing something I'm interested in, than have some career that I don't give a fuck about, that I'm like spending my time doing. Because time, you cannot buy time. I would not ever. Again, like no judge to people who like work any. I mean, if you work a job or a career you're not interested in, then like I have like no judgment towards that whatsoever. But I'm saying, for me personally, this is my talk, my conversation is like you can't buy your years back. Even if you make thousands of dollars at this job that you hate, you're putting all these hours doing something you have no interest in whatsoever, and you're not gonna get those hours back. Like you're gonna be in your deathbed thinking like, damn, I wish I spent my time doing stuff I actually like was contributing to. Not, it doesn't have to be like contributing to the world, but it's like contributing to like your values or whatever. Like again, like obviously nothing's gonna work out perfectly. We gotta do stuff we don't want to do sometimes so we can do stuff we want to do. Like it may be very well worth it to you to work a job you don't like so that you have enough money to travel and buy stuff you like. Like that might be a fair balance for you. Ideally, I keep saying the word ideally. It's like the theme of this session, this talk conversation. But ideally, everyone would want to work a job or find some way to make money doing something they love, and then have that money to do more stuff that they love. Because sometimes it's like a give and take. People will do stuff they don't like so they make money so they can do stuff they like, or people will find a job or a career that they love but they won't make a lot of money, so then they can't they'll have to give up the like vacations and buying luxury clothes or eating out and stuff. It's a fucking Not most people can't have like the both. It's one or the other. But I don't want to like, I don't know. I feel like career, it just shouldn't define you. Like I'd rather, I don't want like any large chunk of my life to be like devoted, like my choice to, again, like there's things we don't want to do, but I don't want to like choose to devote a large chunk of my life into something I know has no value to me. Like just as an example, like I wouldn't want to be like a, I can't think of a good job example. Like I wouldn't want to be a secretary at some like men's gym. I don't know, it's just like a dumb example. Like I think I can think of a better example. Like I wouldn't want to become a doctor. Like again, that's not like an easy one, but like I wouldn't want to go to med school and pay for med school if I don't want to be a doctor, you know, or I don't want to be a nurse or whatever. Because I'm like putting that money in, I'm putting that time in to something that I don't like, just so I can get like the return of getting money back, so then I can, you know, yeah, obviously I'll get money in the future. I can use that money to, you know, get a cool house, get some cool clothes. But it's like, you know, that time. I feel like I value the time and my preferences more than, you know, just getting that money years from now. Like it's too much of an investment. You know, obviously, like, I do stuff I don't want to do. You know, I'm a fucking kid right now. It's gonna get harder when I'm, you know, living on my own. I know I have it a lot easier right now. Like, I'm so grateful to be in foster care because I'm not. I mean, I want to be working right now. Like I said, it's just because the fucking paperwork. I don't. Because I'm in foster care, I've said like a billion times. I can't work right now. I'm trying to get a job, but because the foster care agency is like taking forever to file my documentation, I can't get hired right now. But like I know I have it easy right now because I'm not paying my food bills. I'm not paying any rent or whatever. Like I'm not paying anything. I'm just like fucking chilling. Like obviously, again, like I'm not living my dream life. I'm very lonely and isolated. I'm not, you know, there's people who have better. I mean, better is like subjective, but you know, like there's. I don't feel like I'm living my perfect life. I understand because I'm, you know, a kid in care. I have like all these worries I'm not worried about right now. I'm not worried about my location or my like rent or food money right now. I know it's gonna get harder when I turn 18, when I do move out. But at the same time, you know, there's gonna be, you know, you give and you take. I'm gonna like lose all this stuff when I turn 18, but I will have the free. You know, people always say, you know, like it's not gonna be great when you turn 18. Like I know it doesn't magically get better, but there's like, I'm gonna do shit with my life. I'm not gonna just like give in, give up. And that's such like a fucking general statement. Like obviously, I'm not gonna give up. Like, no one wants to give up or give in, duh. But I feel like I have to use this time wisely. You know, while I have this roof over my head, while I have this food, while I have this like these privileges, I need to like, you know, use this time to like hopefully I want, before I graduate college, I want to, you know, have a job lined up. I do like a remote job so that way I can, you know, just get in my car and like book it and, you know, still have like money. I don't want to like, you know, have, I need gas money. I need, you know, I'm gonna have to start paying for that shit. I'm gonna have to figure something out. I still have time. Like I know I still have like a year and a half. I know it's like not the longest amount of time. It's still a decent amount of time. I haven't even started college yet, so I don't even like know how that's gonna, you know, things change. But I just want to use this time as wisely as I can. That's why I want to start working so I can start saving at least a little money up. I need it. I need to get like I'm gonna, if I don't have a car by the time I'm 18, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I don't know. I need at least like a car roof. Like that's genuinely like such a big concern to me right now because I don't have any money saved really. Not because I'm not saving my money, it's just because I don't have a job right now because I'm unemployed since I came into foster care and I just moved here too. It's like I don't have a car. Does anyone want to donate me a car? And anyone have a spare car? I just want to send it over. But at least that's like some sort of roof. I don't have a lot of belongings. I can put all my shit in a car. Like, and I still have a hot minute till I have to move out. But I just want to think ahead. I've been like so. I think I've said this multiple times, but just like lately, I've been so like fucking FOMO-y. Just like thinking about like I never got to be like I'm reading or I was watching like a movie, just literally any movie about like teenagers, and like I feel like 90% of the stuff they do in the movie, like the teenager, you know, typical teenage childhood American things, like I just never got to do. Like I never really got to go to parties. I never really like I never had a relationship. I mean, again, like that's something I'm really concerned about. But you know, like all these like typical teenage things. I know it's like a thing a lot of like youth, adolescents have. Like everyone misses out on something. There's no like perfect childhood, you know. Everyone's missing some sort of element. But like I'm missing such like a big chunk of like things that like my friends have done because I'm in foster care because I've just like, you know, missed a large fraction. You know, I only went to high school for 1 year, not even, and even in that year in high school, I'm like complaining. You know, part of it's my fault because I'm graduating 2 years early. You know, I made that decision, But part of the reason, honestly, I wanted to graduate 2 years early, not, I mean, there's other reasons too, but it's because like I knew because I'm in foster care, I'm not gonna get the whole like high school experience. It just made me feel so like I love high school, honestly. I know some people, so many people hate high school. I think because I've missed so many like experiences. Like high school was like my one, like the one thing I did have, like that one normalcy thing I did have. I love high school, but like being there, it gave me such bad like FOMO, fear of missing out, because it was like, like I wasn't, like I was there for high school, like I was there for my classes. I would like see friends there, make friends there. But, like as soon as school was over, I would go home, and like I wasn't, I wouldn't hang out with these people after school. I wouldn't, people would be like, oh, there's a party at Bob's house. I couldn't go. I couldn't, like I didn't, just like I missed such like a big I feel like there's like so many things when I was like younger that I like romanticized. Like, oh my god, I can't wait to be a teenager and do this. And like, especially like, because everyone talks about like, you know, give anyone like literally some like 70-year-old grandpa, some like 30-year-old woman, like just anyone. Everyone has like they remember stuff from their teenagehood. Teenagehood is like a cringy word, but I feel like everyone has childhood stories, and I feel like all mine are none of like the like they're not good ones. Again, like they're like things. I had my little story about the boy from the grocery store. Like that's a cute. That's like literally like my only. That's like one of my only like teenage stories. Like that was like my first time. That was like my first kiss. Like that was my first time like really having experiences like a typical teenager. I feel like most of my childhood stories would just be about like being in foster care, or being in hospitals, or like abnormal things. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just wish there were at least like more interesting things. Again, like yeah, I feel like saying like, oh yeah, I was in foster care, like I was in hospitals, like it sounds interesting, but like when you think about it, it's like it's more just like again, like it's like sounds like, oh, it's like an interesting plot point, builds character, but so much of being in foster care is just like, at least in my personal experience, it's just like a lot of boredom, honestly, a lot of like feeling of isolation. Being in the hospital, I was in the hospital for over a year. Oh, like that sounds interesting. What happened in the hospital? There was stuff that happened, but 90% of it was just loneliness, waiting. Like it's not like crazy stories about going out with friends and high school. Like no, most of it was just me like quite literally like staring at a blank wall and just being depressed. That was like some of the most depressing times in my life. And again, like it sounds I don't know, like again, like everyone, like I sound so like cliche right now. Like everyone wants their childhood to be better, but I feel like I'd honestly rather have like a typical childhood that like a lot of people have, than have my again, like it sounds just like I just want those experiences. Because like once I turn 18, it's not gonna be the same. Like obviously, I'm not gonna lie. I fucking plan to party hard when I'm 18. Make out. I mean, make make up for all that stuff I missed. But it's not gonna be the same. Like I was saying, like people talk about their childhood. Like I'm not. I mean, I guess like being 18, you're still kind of like childhood. It's still like kind of adolescence, but I'm never gonna be I'm never gonna go to high school parties. I'm gonna be grown. Like it's not gonna be the same. It'd be kind of weird if I went to like high school parties as an adult. Like that'd just be kind of creepy. I'm just never gonna have like, that experience. I can have like similar experiences. I can fucking party hard as an adult, go to those concerts, have those, relationships, those like mixed. See, like I never even really had much drama in my life. Like I feel like people have so much like drama in their childhood. Obviously, so many people would like say like they wish they didn't. Like a lot of it's like it's drama, it's not good. But it's like I never had that. I've never had really like a best friend. Like honestly, that's like depressing. So I've never had a best friend. I've had friends, but it's like I said, really. This last year in high school, I never hung out with anyone like outside of school. So I would have friends, but it wasn't like anything deep. Like I never had like a strong best friend. I never had like a again relationship I don't really care about right now. But like I'm gonna have to. I'll have those experiences, I'm sure, when I'm older. But I think it's also a lot harder to facilitate those. Besides in college, like school is like the one time you're kind of like around a bunch of people your age, and like college too. But, like after that, it's kind of like more spread out. I guess like sometimes in jobs you'll be around people your age, or and you don't have to be around someone's age to be friends with them. But you know what I mean. Like your group. Like school is kind of like the last time you're really stuck with those people. And then when you're like 18 and wandering the world, just kind of everyone, you don't usually get like big groups of people like that. And you can like there are going to like events and concerts and stuff, like on a regular basis. You don't get high school again. So maybe that's like an incentive for me to go to 4-year college. Again, I don't want to make any choices about that yet. Like I still have to make it through community college. Okay, that's not even So good. I haven't even started yet. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop talking here because it's like quite late, and I wouldn't say I'm tired. Oh, I also felt like shit. I was saying how I felt like shit today. Just like physically felt like shit. Like my brain feels so foggy. Like not awfully right now, but like it's just like not clear. Like I don't know why. Like when was the last time I had a clear? I'm trying to think. Like sometimes when you just like feel good physically, like you don't have to be like in a good mood, but just like physically, like I don't know, like you wake. I don't know, just like I usually like correlate that with like showers and like I don't know, having like a smoothie, like not eating like junk food. Not because like junk food is bad, like for you. It's not just because like junk food is not good for you, but just like that good feeling you have like physically when you eat healthy food. And like what else? Taking a shower, eating healthy food. Just like when you feel like clear mind, focused or whatever. I just like feel so fucking foggy today. And I feel like I felt like that for like a hot minute. Not that like I can't function, but it's just like not ideal. I just need to like I feel like I have like cotton in my brain. I need to like take it out. Hopefully it goes away soon. Because it just makes it harder to like, focus and enjoy things when you're like I just feel like I'm like kind of dumbed down right now. And maybe that's like good in some parts. Like it makes it easier to like gloss over annoying shit. But it's like I want to be present. I want to be 100% there. Okay. Good night. Bye.